Thank you, Jesse. I want to congratulate the new inductees, and I want to congratulate the veteran members of the National Honor Society. I also want to congratulate families, because without you, your love and your nurture, no one would be here tonight. I would like to thank and honor Father James for his devotion and leadership to all of us at DeMatha, students, faculty, and staff. Congratulations to my dear friend and colleague, Neil Murphy. He's been a trusted advisor to me throughout my career here and a rock of support over the last few years. Tonight, I have a confession to make, a few words of gratitude, and some very brief advice. First, the confession. Many, many years ago, I was a junior at a huge public high school southwest of Boston, hence my love for all things Celtics and Red Sox. My junior class had over 500 students in it, and we also had a National Honor Society chapter. Unlike at DeMatha, to be inducted into the National Honor Society at my school, a teacher had to nominate you first, and you had to maintain a 3.8 GPA. I loved school, and I loved all my teachers. One of them nominated me. Like you, I had to write a letter, an essay, explaining why I deserved to be a member of the National Honor Society. In my essay, I argued that the National Honor Society was an elitist organization which only segregated the student body and that I had no desire to be a member. Not surprisingly, I wasn't invited. My protest was not entirely ideological. You see, my best friend Sheila O'Neill worked 3 times harder than I did just to maintain a B average, and I knew she would never be recognized. The rebellious streak in me still burned and inspired me to choose Bowdoin College, my next stop. Why Bowdoin? Few reasons. I was among the early classes of women to break the gender barrier at a college that had been all male for 200 years. It was one of the first colleges that made the SAT and the ACT voluntary because the admissions department rightly believed that one exam doesn't define a student. There were no prerequisites, so I could leave calculus behind and study literature, philosophy, and languages. And lastly, Bowdoin had eliminated the traditional grading system, and everyone took classes based on pass, fail, or honors. So you can imagine it was a tad ironic when Mrs. Belt and Miss Ponton came to me and said, "You're going to be getting the NHS award at an all-boys Catholic private high school where much of my day I love reteaching math concepts, yes, calculus, which I'm relearning this year, and where there's a numerical difference between a 93% and a 94%. What happened? Well, as I got older, many people taught me, guided me, supported me, mentored me, challenged me, disagreed with me, criticized me, and yes, loved me. That strident 17-year-old was formed, reformed, and transformed. And it wasn't just people. Books I read, music I sang and listened to, theater that I did and watched, travel that I took, walks in the woods, and life experiences were critical in reshaping and remolding my very being. So tonight, I stand before you much less sure of my strongly held opinions, but at the same time, much more sure of my values. One of those values is gratitude, and that's where all of you students come in. When I look out into this audience, I am so blessed to know so many of you personally. To an outsider, that might seem strange that the director of academic support would know the academic stars of this school. But that's because you have made the Academic Support Center one of your homes on campus, either before school, during school, or after school. You've worked shoulder to shoulder with students who might struggle academically, and you've done it with humility and vulnerability. You've demonstrated by your behavior that all of us need help and support as we're challenged intellectually. You have helped me demolish the stigma that Academic Support Center is for a segregated community of students. For that, I am profoundly grateful to you. One of my beloved members, who Mr. Murphy told you about, Pat Guerin, always envisioned academic support as the kitchen table of DeMatha. And you have all made that a reality. I grant you, it's an enormous kitchen table, but what a wonderful problem to have. Now, just a word or two of advice. All of us need help during our lives. It might be academic, it might be physical, it might be mental, it might be social and emotional. Keep asking for help. I guarantee you there are people around you who are ready and willing to help. The flip side of that is that you have around you people who need help. Offer help. How do you do that? Sometimes just by listening, sometimes by bearing witness to their pain or to their struggle, and sometimes helping them tangibly. I am so proud to accept this award, but I want you to know that asking for help and offering help are two of the most human gestures any of us can make. I can't wait to accompany you on the rest of your DeMatha journey. Congratulations and thank you.